Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 2 in our Wizard School series, and this is just a Sweet Pea Papers project. We're using the Wizard School kit by Victoria Design. We've already done pages 1 and 2, so this is going to be page 3. So far, our pages have come out to where they will fit on the pages in order. So 1 is going to go here, and then 2 is going to go there, and then this opens up this way. This is our coffee dyed paper, and then we're going to work on page 3, and it's actually going to fit on page 3. Now, this isn't always the case. I've got ink all over me. It isn't always the case that using this method that the page will be made in order that it goes in the book, but it just so happens that this looks like it's going to work out that way so far. Okay, so this is what we need for page 3, and so this is our paper, and I've inked it. I've seen this image before, I'd like to say, and I am going to cover it on purpose because I really don't care about the sexual system of plants. So we're going to make a large pocket. Let's set this away to the side. We don't need that yet. So we're going to make our big pocket out of this. You'll have to excuse my shaky hands and my shaky voice. I don't know if any of you suffer from anxiety or panic attacks, but I do. And I thought, well, I'll make a video and spend some time with you guys, and that'll make me feel better. And I feel better already. So this pocket is going to go, I'm going to say, across this line here. So it's going to be fairly large. And of course I cannot even see where I marked it. That looks like a mark right there. Here's one. This is the paper that's the same on both sides that I'm going to have to print some more of these, definitely. We may just stay with 2 signatures just because of the repetition of the other papers. We'll see. I've had to change this twice, so we'll see how it works. So we're going to put this pocket on. I'm wondering if we need an expandable pocket. I think we will. Let me grab a scrap piece of coffee dyed paper. Okay, all we're going to do is make these little accordions. We'll make 2 of them. We don't want it to be the, we don't want it to be the full length of the pocket, but we do want it to keep stuff from falling out the sides. Then we need 2 pieces 1 inch wide. or thereabouts. Didn't mean to do that for this pocket, otherwise I would have done it off camera. To make the little accordion folds, you just fold it in half. And then you fold each side back out on itself, and it makes a W when you look at it from the end. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to whistle. So you see it looks like a W from the end. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. Then we're going to end up making this 1/4 inch shorter. So we're going to need to score it on this side. Then we'll fold it. Kind of like this side a little better anyway. Wonder how this is going to work with our It should be fine. If not, I'll change it again. Some of these pages are inspired by Paper Shed UK, or the Paper Shed. She's been doing a series of flip-throughs of her old mini albums and photo albums. And a lot of the flips and flaps and stuff that you see in those mini albums can be adapted to be a junk journal page. And also, the series that you're going to see right before this one is Once Upon a Time, and that is a combination album / journal. Okay, I don't know why I put that in there. So open this up. You want the W part, the point, facing out. Last minute expandable pocket. You don't want it to go all the way to where it's glued to the paper. So you're just going to glue it to the flap. And then we'll glue this to this. Okay, now for what we're going to put inside here, we're going to put a card, but it's going to be a folded card, you know, like a birthday card folded. And then we're going to trim it down. And try to keep as much of it as we can. That's why I thought the expandable pocket would be better. I need the blade on there and not the scoring tool. I forgot to ink the pocket. Okay, crisis averted. I'm wondering if that'll fit in there just like that. I need to make it a little bit shorter. Leave that out so I remember to ink it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brown, this darker brown, off the bottom. Then I'm going to do the same at the top. Let's see with the gold. See if that gives me the right height. I think I'm going to have to take a little bit more off. Nope, that's going to work. Alright, now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to round all four corners. I hope I haven't been doing too much of this off camera, I just realized. You can still see all of that scroll and the spider. The castle is still on there. I'm really glad that I was able to make it bigger than I thought. Okay, now let me ink this before I forget. We're going to put a couple of tucks in here, and they're going to hold cards. I'll make the cards off camera. Probably should have inked this off camera too, but shoot. But I didn't want to forget. And you see this way it looks like so in the center. So now we're going to put a couple of tucks. We're going to put one down here. I should have rounded those together. I'm going to put one down here, and we're going to put one up here, and then we'll put cards in. Okay, so let me round this corner on this one. This corner on this one. And we'll put those on, and then I'll make the cards off camera. But we're not going to make pockets out of them. We're just going to make tucks. There's going to be a lot of inking after cutting in this book, so not going to need these two, so I'm going to put them back with my ephemera so I don't lose them. Okay. And that's why we needed the thicker pocket. I want to double check this before I get all happy. Okay, so it slides in and out easily. So we're just going to glue 2 sides, not 3 like you would a pocket. And then since we're going to have 2 more cards on the inside of the card, then I'm glad I had the idea of the expanded pocket there at the last minute. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Oh, 2 writing cards right in there. They're not going to be super big because they have to fit inside that glue line. You know what I mean? They won't be super wide, but they'll stay in. Okay, so we've got that done. You can decorate this if you want. I happen to like the castle and the key in the picture, and I think that's fine. You could do more to this if you wanted. You could put another pocket here and add another card to the back of this, which isn't a bad idea. We've got all the room we need in that pocket. Okay, so now we're going to take the pocket on our paper, if I can get the glue closed, and we're going to add another pocket to it. Okay, and that's why I went ahead and made this just this material, or that color. This pocket is going to cover most of this one. And it's going to open to the side. I think we're going to be able to use a charm. fact, I think we're going to need maybe a bigger piece than that. Why do I always lose my spot? Maybe I just did the height. All right, and then we want the pocket. Oh no, here it is. Okay, we're going to put the pocket on here. Should have rounded the pockets on that, or the corners on that. Note to self. Now we're gonna, should we put a thumb notch in it? No, the tag's gonna stick out. So we're gonna put it about here. I'm gonna put it where the owls look right side up. Okay, so we don't want glue on this side. Now, the page I was originally going to do for this is one very similar to the one that that she did in her photo album, but I realized it was going to be too thick, so I just completely changed it. So I'm going to try to make a variation on the theme of that one. I don't know if this will work. Because it was really cool. And I definitely like flip-flops. Sometimes you have to try to remember what side the line was even supposed to be on. Oh, that'll make a nice belly band. Hopefully our card will fit. Okay. Oh, that'll be perfect. Now, I don't need this. Can make it a little shorter and use a tab. I have a die for this, so I can make as many as I want. This cream colored paper is the same as the paper that we're using for the book. I wonder if I put this on, then I can adjust the length at that time. Okay, okay, I cut 1/4 of an inch off. Let's see. Yep, I think that'll be fine. And put our tab on. And then we'll be able to put our charm on. I found a whole bunch of key charms. Alright, so I'll move this before we do anything else. Do I want to round these corners? I can always do it later and just re-ink. Anyway, what I was going to say is this is the same cream colored paper that we have on the, that we're gluing the pages to, or the papers to make the pages. The only difference is this has been sprayed with my homemade alcohol acrylic paint spray. And, darn it, talking and thinking and inking, it's not working very well. Anyway, the spray is just alcohol and acrylic paint, just a little drop of acrylic paint, not very much at all. Then you just shake it up in your little 3-ounce spray bottle, squirt mystery bottle. Like this. That's glycerin water. Use that when you make faux leather. Alright. This way is up. Okay. Wonder if that's just a smidge too wide. Just going to take a sliver off each side so that our tab stays centered. Oh yeah, that's much better. Still don't like this sticking out. Good grief. Guess who has to re-ink? That would be me. Now it's almost too short. That's alright. We can pull it out. We don't have to push it all the way in. Okay. It was just too big. It was just too big for the pocket. I'm glad I made it a little bit smaller, even though I had to re-ink the 3 edges. Okay. Now we're going to take our crocodile. And we're going to put it on the biggest hole. I'm going to punch it. Then we're going to take it and put it on there. That's about as close to the edge as you can get. We're gonna I don't want a big one because we're going to use a bulb pen. Could almost use a black one. Oh, charm is gold, so let's use gold. There's a trick to it. Alright, so that's that. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put this little pocket here. I didn't measure it or anything, it's just a scrap. And make another little pocket here, and then we'll put a little tag in it. I didn't realize that was going to be the exact size that we needed. I just looked at it and I thought, oh, that might work. I do wish this kit came with more tags. Now I'm not putting it right up on the edge on purpose. I'm layering all 3 in just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Let's put that in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna stop the video and then get the papers together for page 4. I'm going to label this page 3. Video 2, page right side, just in case we decide to move it. Okay, so it has to be on the right hand page because of the charm. Well, that turned out cute. Alright, so I'm going to pause it and I'm going to get the papers together and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're going to start pages 4 and 5 because it's going to be the center. I've been putting the pages where we numbered them in order that they were filmed in the videos. But normally when I do the pages like this, I will stack them all up and then move them around wherever I want them. But in this particular case, I'm happy with them the order that we've made them in. So now we're here at pages 4 and 5, which is our center spread. So we're going to do them the same, only the opposite. And we're going to need quite a bit of moving parts for this. Well, not quite a bit, but we're going to need quite a bit of paper. So these are our pages. This one goes on this side. This one goes on this side. And you'll see they have the bottles on the outside, both of them. And that's what's going to tie everything together. We're also going to use 2 envelopes as flaps. But we're going to pretend like they're CD covers and we're going to cut holes in them. And we're going to paper them opposites. Okay, so I'm going to cut the holes in them together to make sure they're in the same spots. But what we need to do first is we need to cover the fronts. So let's get some of these papers set aside. My printer's still going because I needed to print duplicates. Okay, so, and we won't need these for a while. Okay, so we're going to put the paper on the fronts and then open up the envelopes and then cut the holes. So this is going to be the front on one. This is going to be the front on the other one. Both of them have the bottles. Okay. Set that aside. Okay, oops, we need to measure. Now, these are A2 envelopes and they're cream colored and I inked them. And I inked them back here too because we're actually going to leave it. Oh, I have cut it for the side. Yes, we are. I didn't need to ink that. We're going to cut the side to put in the card. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is paper the fronts. Now we're not going to get this done in the last half of this video. It's going to carry on over into the next video, which we would have done page 5 in anyway. So let's mark this one. Looks like I need to ink it a little bit more on the top. Gosh darn it. The dog is walking around on my feet. Alright, so we need it here. And then we need it here. Now, we're going to need belly bands And, well, we've got our second pieces of paper, so let's not worry about it for right now. We are going to cut the long way first. And of course you're going to save these because we're doing opposites. And then we're going to cut it this way. I wonder if we have enough room to go ahead and cut the front for the other one. Oh, it works out exact? Is that exact? One's a little bit longer than the other, and now I don't know which one was the right one. But it isn't very much. If the shorter one is the right one, then we're in like Flynn, which I think it is. I need to ink this more. It didn't go down far enough. Made that really dark, didn't it? Oh, it doesn't matter on this side. We're going to cut it for the pocket. Goofball. Okay, let's see which one is the right one. Okay, this one is the correct one. And this one is the smaller one. So that's going to end up being a scrap. However, this is big enough to make the second one with for the other one. You know what though? This is going to be the back of the other one. What I want to do is cut another one here. I need to do one thing at a time. Oh. I'm still a little antsy from the beginning of the video. Oh, it's just taking too long. And we'll cut this one the same way. So we need to ink these. Hope I remember to ink everything. A little carried away on that corner. Now one of them is printed on the back and the other one's not, because one of them I had to print again and the other one I didn't. Now this one by the lanterns, this looks right side up to me, and this one by the bottles looks right side up. What about going by the bottles on both? Okay, let's do that. So one's going to go on the left, obviously, and one's going to go on the right. So let's glue this. Kind of funny that I glue in circles on one side and squiggly lines on the other. I don't know why I always do circles on this. It's not close enough to the edge. Okay. Bottles up. Bottles up. Cheers. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to cut the circles, and then I'm going to pause and cut the circles with my Big Shot, because otherwise it'll just take up too much camera time, and this isn't a, you know, Big Shot tutorial. It's not hard anyway. I've shown it in several dozen of my other videos. Okay, so this is going this way, so the bottle's up is this way. I didn't check for inking it far enough. I don't know why I didn't ink it further. It's funny because there's bottles right side up and upside down on this. I just arbitrarily decided this is the right side up, but you know what? It's not. And I'll tell you why. Because there's little ribbons coming off of the scrolls, and the little ribbons are upside down the way I was going to do it. Okay, so see, the little ribbons off the scrolls need to go this way. Oh, I've got my phone here. My friend who lives in California, I'm in Seattle, is having a birthday party, a video one, because we all live all over the country. So she's having a birthday party with her family, and she's going to call us when the party gets going, so that we can be there for part of the time with her. All right, now that we've got them covered, we're going to turn them over and we're going to take them apart. I just got these on Amazon. I don't know the brand name. It doesn't matter if I kind of murder it because we're going to be covering it. I just need to get it open. I just stuck my finger right through it. Well, the first one I did not do this. It's horrific. Alright, let's see if I can do this one better. The other one I did just came right off. Without this tearing. Sorry about that. That was my alarm to give my dog his TREAT and then let him out. What in the world? I have never had an envelope act like this. Alright, now that I've got them opened up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run them both through the Big Shot at the same time with my circle die, and hopefully it will cut both all the way through. I'll run it back and forth through there. Okay, so these are lined up. And I'm going to put the die here. Then I'm going to run it through. So I'll be right back. Alright, I cut the holes and then I went ahead and put the acetate on both as well. You just cut 2 rectangles and glue them down. So now we need to glue the envelopes back together without getting glue on the acetate. So I'm going to glue this first. Then we have to remember to only glue the one flap that we undid and not glue both, because we need the flap to attach it onto the paper. We might be better off attaching this one since it's not torn and putting this one on the paper. Oh no, this is really thin. Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna put glue right along where we tore it and nowhere else. You have to be careful. Okay. So that's that one. Now, this one goes like this. So then this one goes like this. No, it goes the other way. Okay, so we don't We don't glue that one. We're going to glue this. Yeah, this one's torn. We're going to cut this edge off anyway. Okay, now we're going to let this dry for a second. Oh, we're going to cover the backs, and then we're going to cut it for the pocket. So let's do the opposites. See if these will work. They should. So this one gets this. This one gets that. And we're going to need to, when we glue them on, we're going to need to make sure that they're right side up as well. So they're going to be the right width. We just need to measure the length. Okay, I need to ink this. Okay, now this one goes this way. This one goes right, because the ribbons are going down. So this one goes this way. So this makes it right side up. And then this one goes this way. Now we're going to glue the envelope. You want to glue down along here. I'm not sure I do it that way. Okay, that's the end of this one. So I'm going to glue the backs on, and then we'll come back. You just glue it on to cover the back, but you don't want to glue on the acetate, and you don't want to glue, you don't want to glue it shut. So you're going to want to go around the edges, and I usually just do the paper. That's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to glue the backs on, and then we'll start the next video, and we'll pick up where we left off. So that's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.